Good morning, everyone. This is Holly Stringer with Holly's Art House again. I'm probably not going to do any pouring right now. I've got some appointments today, so I don't really have time for that. I might do it this afternoon if I get back in. So I wanted to just show you some of the tiles that I made and some of the other ones that I made previously. These are just regular 6x6 tiles. They do not have the spacers on the sides. So that's what I use for my trivets and for my coasters so that I don't have to worry about any of that. Now, I got tied up and didn't come back and check all of the resin going off the edges. So I have some drips on the tile. This is the tile that I did the other day. This has the final top coat of resin on it for protection. This was one of the first ones, and videos just do not give it justice. This dark blue looks like it's setting on the bottom with some light blue running up, like on the side of a ravine, with the white on top and selling over the top. And then the interference blue pearl that I used, which looks white from Color Art, the Blingets. You can see bits and pieces of it poking through the top too. Now, what I'm going to do here, let me reach down here. I want to get a rag because these have not cured for, other than a few days, so they're not fully cured. Even though it's hard, you should not use it right now because it's not a full cure. It's supposedly fully cured at 7 days, but then fully hard and everything at 30 days. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't want any scratches on my top coat, is I'm going to turn it upside down and use my heat gun. Now, I'm going to use it quite a bit here, but then you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to heat the edges where the resin is. At this point, since it's not a full cure, it will still soften it. And resin may soften later too in extreme heat, but it won't damage it. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go over here. You can see where I had started to peel this up here, and it'll come off in pieces. You see how easily that comes off? Now I have another problem on this tile. My dear husband helped me, and it was his first time. So it's my fault. See how that comes off? The problem is my tape did not stick on the edge. So you see that? So I was telling you about prep is important. Because now, because the tape didn't stick to the edge, and I didn't come back and notice it, I'm going to have to sand and cut all of that off. I can cut part of it off as I heat the resin with an X-Acto knife, which I just went to reach for, and it's not where it's supposed to be. Imagine that. So I'll have to get that. I opened some packages yesterday, so I may have left it in the other room. So I'll just take some tweezers here. When you put your tape on the back of your tiles, you need to be sure that it's, what do you call it? There's a word for it. Branished? I don't know. My mind's not working today. I'm having some memory problems, but that's okay. So let me do this again here. careful where you put your heat gun because the tip of it is going to get hot. Don't touch it. And before you say, well, I would never do that. Well, yeah, you might. I didn't say it'd be on purpose, but it's probably going to happen. So now see, if my tape had been down well, I would basically be finished in putting the cork on. But as it is, I have to take all of that off. See how bad it is right in that corner? And that's the one that was like this, so it was away from me when I came in my room and then sitting here, and I just flat did not notice it. Actually, I think it was more like this is where I had this one setting. But you can see shimmer, you can see sparkle. No scratches, no dust. Looks like I may have a bubble or two there, but I'm going to tell you, resin, you can try to get it as perfect as you want, but in reality, you're probably going to have flaws in it because it's just so difficult. Now, I'm going to try and purchase some things that will make my drying area better. I'm going to try and buy a baker's rack. You know, you've seen those tall baker's rack that hold like 20 full-size baking trays. And they come, you can get a plastic cover for them. So I'm going to buy one of those. I got to get some money saved up and put it in my room and put the cover on it. And then I'll bring the tray out, work on it, and then just set the tray in the rack and close the plastic cover. Dust won't be able to get in there. So here's my X-Acto knife. So I'm not going to work a lot on this right now, but I just want you to kind of see how it's done. So you want to heat the resin. And be careful because I have plastic here and I don't want to melt that. It's time to change it anyway, so let me go like this. So now that I've done that, let's see if I can do anything here. And again, you want to be very careful. You don't want to cut yourself. You don't want to cut your project. And you don't want to scratch it with anything that's on your tables. So you just work very carefully, getting the blade in up under there. See how that went? And I don't know if you can see, but it is lifting and going through. And then that's what it will look like when I get it all scraped down. See? But if I had watched my prep better, then I wouldn't have to do this. This side is the one that I'm going to have to use the blade on and get that all scraped off. As far as the other sides go, maybe right here for a way. So this side and this side. And the others, all I'll do is just take some sandpaper and sand a little bit down to make sure there's no rough edges. And then I'll put my cork on it. Now, once I put my cork on it, this is what I use. I just buy, this is for a coaster. I just buy the self-adhesive cork pieces, and then I have a stamp that I stamp them with. And then you just open this up, put it on the back, and go from there. Now for these, I do have special sizes. I had to get some more self-adhesive cork sheets. This is what I bought. And what will happen, I'll come in here, open this up. I'm going to hang on to that so I remember what I bought. Though I bought it on Amazon, so it'll be in my history. Anyway. I know where my stamp is. I'm not sure where my ink is. Let me look real quick while I talk to you. Let me also show you these. These are the mermaid tails that I did. This was done in peacock greens and mermaid scale green and some blues, and this was all just different shades of purple. I know it looks solid purple. Some of them were very similar in color, but you should be able to see the shimmer. And other colors are coming through. There's some gold, because I'd used a blue gold, and there's some more blues. So they turned out really good. Now on this particular one, I overfilled it. So again, I wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to have to trim some pieces on this side only. But then I'll take a brush and brush on some resin, or I'm thinking about buying some UV resin and using it, and that will protect the mica that's on here so it doesn't get scratched off. But then again, if it does get scratched off, this is what's going to show through. Isn't that pretty? And then the same on this one. I have to do a little bit of trimming right there. But then this is what shows through. So I think those turned out nice. Believe it or not, and I know it's going to be odd, my UPS guy and I are on a first name basis. I know. But he brought a bunch of stuff to me right before Christmas. You know how Christmas is, you buy stuff. And most of my stuff comes in via mail, but certain places I buy from come in through UPS. And I gave one of these for his wife. It was purple, and her favorite color is purple, and she loves mermaids. So I had made them into keychains, and so I gave one to him. And then I gave her a pair of earrings. I make earrings too with my leftover resin. I show these periodically just because I have new people coming to my channel all the time. But let me get back to what I was doing here before I get so sidetracked. So here's my coaster. And you know what? I hate when I get this way. I literally just, had my stamp. Here it is. Whoops, looks like I got some resin on it. No, that was just where it picked up some stuff. So I ordered this from someplace, I can't remember now. So I make sure that I'm holding it the right direction. I have my ink here, and I'll just carefully do that, and then right in this, as close to the center as I can get. And then that's how I mark my stuff. So when these tiles are completely finished, this will go on the back, like that. So now you see how I finished my work there, at least that mark it anyway. So I will move that stuff to the side so I don't get any ink on this stuff. The other tile that I did yesterday, I was testing some colors. Now off camera, I had some extra resin left, and so I put what is called Crushed Crystal Magical Mica Pigment Enhancer. It is unicorn art. It's actually what it is just very, very, very fine glitter. And I followed the lines of the design, and I put a couple of lines in that in there. You can see the cells because of the white that I used. Isn't that pretty? And then with the sparkle there, let me see if I can move this just a little bit so the light's not shining directly on it. It is so hard to see what you're looking at. But I think that turned out pretty good for browns. They weren't true browns, but they were micas. This will take another coat on top of it of clear because I used, you know, the glitter there. And in places you can feel like where a piece is up above, and I see where I do have like a piece of lint or something got into it. So when I put the flood coat on this, then that will level out, and you won't be able to feel anything, and you actually won't even be able to see the dust. So that's how that one turned out. I don't want to stack those up because, again, they're not fully cured. Now, just so you can see what I've done, these are both acrylics, meaning I put the color in the resin, poured it, made these, and then they'll have a flood coat of resin over it. These were acrylic paint pours. All of this is done with acrylic paint with a coat of resin over it. These are complete. These have cured for 30 days or longer, and you can see how they're finished on the back. This was a previous type of cork that I had. It was, when I bought it, it said it was made for 6 by 6 tiles. Well, it's not 6 by 6, it's 5.5 by 5.5. So you center it. But they still look really good, and you know, this way you can see that they're handmade. So this is basically greens and turquoise, and it has some of the interference blue in it. Like right there at one angle it looks totally white, and then when I turn it, now all right there, there, over here, through there, I can see blue. That's the interference blue. You can only see it, the interference colors you can see at certain angles, and it gives it beautiful sheen. So that's that one I did. This is an acrylic pour that I did with various shades of purple, a magenta, and then some interference gold. I think there's some interference blue in there too that was left over from something. I may have combined it. So this is the purple one. Again, video is just so hard to show the sheen and the shine and the sparkle. There's no glitter in this at all. It's strictly the mica, so it sparkles. Sometimes I would do this with leftover paint I had going from other things. Now this one is the darker blues and some silver in there. It's probably more similar to, let me get this to show you some colors. See, this is all resin, but it's micas. Those same micas I can use in my paint, and that's how I got this. Very similar in color. This has some darker blues in it. And again, it's got the interference in it. So what looks white isn't really. And then the last one is reds and some black and gold. And look at the cells. I was experimenting with these three on the bloom technique. I'm not very good at it, I don't think. But it looks really good. I need to clean these with some alcohol. Just kind of wipe it down. I got something on it there. But when I turn it like right through here, now I can see golds. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. So these four are the ones that I've made before. Turn you just a little bit. Maybe. So these four are the previous ones. And these are the two new ones that I still have work to do on. And now, once they're cured for the full 30 days, you can use these in your kitchen trivets. That's what they're designed for. And you can take something off the stove and just set it on here. These are good for up to 500 degrees, the resin that I use. I got something on that. I think that's a drop of paint. Ooh, it'll come off though. But even in these, because of the way the paint is, you can see depth in them. Not as much as you can in this one or this one, but you can see some depth. But this resin is good to 500 degrees. And it's really very good. High UV protectant. Now I said that I made earrings. So if I have leftover resin, I have some blanks around here. And I'll just put the resin in there. Actually, that's upside down as far as the holder. That's why it felt weird. So those are reds. These are red too. I had some, it's a little bit darker. It was a different pour, but same color. This is a pink. It's more of a flesh tone. This is red and green mixed together. Just dropped in drops. Those hang a little bit different. There's another of the pink. I had these all ready to go to a little shop here in town. Those are just clear resin with pink glitter in it. There's nothing in there but glitter. And that makes it look that pink. There's a green. I made some coasters with resin, not paint, and that's where the leftover came from. There's another of the pink glitter. There's one of the others that I made, keychain. It does not have a coat of resin on it yet to protect it. Pink glitter heart, a magnet. I have a dog tag. I now have a silhouette, so I'll be able to put names in here. But those are just blank. And then I'm not going to drag all these out, but then letters. And these are the same letters that I make that I'll put magnets on for refrigerator magnets. Just different kinds of keychains. See? So I don't make a whole lot of these all at once because I use just my leftover glitter because I try not to throw any glitter out. Yeah, I probably shouldn't put those on those two because they're still not cured. So let me move them out of the way. Set that one over here and set that one. I'm going to set this back over here out of the way because I'm going to, whoops. So I'll put these back in my box here, and then I'll show you a few other things that I've done. This will be kind of a short video. Now, first thing I want to show you, it's a fail, but it's a fixable fail. These are my green coasters. Let's see, I need to move a little bit because now that box is in my way. And I have my camera plugged in, so I have to really watch that. Okay, so these are my green coasters. My problem with them is what I discovered. I'd been doing this for a while, and then I bought a new set of measuring cups. Do I have one right here? Yes, I do. When I mix my resin, I was originally using tall cups, or even these when I mix smaller amounts, and so I was doing, my resin is a 2-part resin, so I was doing 4 ounces of part A and 4 ounces of part B. Well, this started happening. This is 60 days. Let's see, this is January. No, I poured these in October. But, can you see that? They bend still. So what I discovered was, I went to, this is the back side, and that's the front side. I went and measured, and the markings are off. So what I started doing then is I will take a different cup, and what I'll do is I'll put, what this says is 4 ounces of part B in it, which is the thinner hardener. So I'll measure it in this cup and pour it into another cup. And then I'll take 4 ounces of part A, pour it into this same cup, because that's the same line I measured the other one on, and then pour it into the other cup, mix it. It uses 2 cups instead of 1, but I don't have this problem. So now you're going to say, how are you going to fix this? Well, the way I'm going to fix this is, on this top side, when you use your mold, normally there's a little bit of a ridge. And normally I just sand it down so it's not sharp. What I'm going to do is I left it here. I'm going to pour a layer of clear resin mixed and measured my new way. And when it cures, it'll be on top and it'll hold it all stiff. So there's my green coasters. They fit like that, or you can stack them up. Again, since this is like this, still soft, it kind of sticks together, so I have to be kind of careful with them. I don't put anything on top of these. Let's see here. Oh, then I have purple. dark purple. Next, there's 1, 2, 3 colors of purple in it, some clear, and then some holographic glitter in the center for some sparkle. So these are the purple ones. And you see the difference? These don't bend. And I'm trying just as hard to bend them. So these are ready. And see, they stack together nicely. And I have a new mold, which makes a holder for those. It's a little bit different shape, so. These are kind of one of my favorites. This is black and copper and clear with copper glitter in the center to give it some sparkle. Aren't they pretty? And this is a mica powder. In fact, all of these are mica powders. That's why you get the shimmer like you get. See the back there? I think on this one I might have actually put some glitter in, and it sank to the bottom. So, why did my glitter sink to the bottom? Well, I poured it probably just as soon as I mixed the resin, which means that it was thinner than normal. So what I will do next time is I will let the resin set and thicken a little bit, like start the curing process. And then when I put the glitter in it and mix it, it will not sink because it will be thicker and it'll hold it. I had someone ask for red and turquoise, and so I did red with turquoise. And see, either the back or the front, you can use it either way. And then the other set, which is the one that she ended up taking, I did turquoise with a little bit of red and turquoise glitter. So that's those. And these are one of my favorites. I used Candy Blue, which is a color from Just Resin, and then I used a lighter blue. I don't remember what it is now, and then clear, and then a mixture of blue and silver glitter. You can see through it. That's the front, that's the back. You'll have more rings on the back. But I think the fact that you can see through it isn't that just gorgeous? And you can see the shimmer, the satiny shimmer. These aren't completely finished. They still have the ridge on them, so I have to get those sanded down. See, I have some finishing that I need to do. And one of these days I'll get to it. This is another set of blue that I did. It doesn't have as much clear in the center, and it's different blues, and this has a little bit of the interference blue in it. I had some left over. So those are really pretty too. And then I made extra resin because I wanted to test this mold out. So I have this little container. It has blues and purples in it. And it just works like that. When you fill the mold up, you get that ridge and they connect together. See? And it's just a little trinket dish. You can put it in the bathroom or in the kitchen and put your jewelry in it as you're washing your hands or, you know, whatever. Let's see here. I think this was the first time I used this mold. Anyway, this particular one fits on a certain way because of the way the mold shifted a little bit. See, it won't close completely. So that one, yeah. Somebody might get that one for free. I don't know. And then I have a round mold, which is for coasters. And this is using magenta, pink, and white alcohol ink. So there's the back. I put little knobs on the back so they set, they don't scratch your tables or anything. And the white in the alcohol ink causes it to sink. Let me see when it's, okay. These are one of the first ones I made, so the coasters aren't the same thickness. I learned a lot. But if you can see that the colors don't go all the way down through. There's still some clear in there. So those are pretty too. And then the only thing left in here is some more keychains getting ready to be made. So that's just a quick video on the stuff that I did yesterday, showing you some of my other work. If you have any questions, I'm at hollysarthouse.com. My Facebook page, of course, is Holly's Art House. I'm sorry. hollysarthouse.com is not active. My email is hollysarthouse@gmail.com. I do have the domain name purchased, but I do not have it set up yet. So that's something that I have to get done. Get my coasters back in my box here that I keep them in, so I keep them safe. If you have any questions, you can ask them in this video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. I tried to go live the other day, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live. I have like 69, 70, 68, something like that. So I could not go live. So my new goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. And then I'll set a goal after that. And I'll just keep going and keep going and keep going. And hopefully I'll be able to build this channel and get my website built and go from there. So for now, any ideas that you all have or inspirations, I did not start this on my own. I started this after, first of all, watching Stone Coat Countertops. For some reason, and I don't know why, I had not done any research on anything. Stone Coat showed up on my Facebook feed about two and a half years ago. And then you can see I have done nothing with my hair today. So I started on my Facebook, showed up on my Facebook feed about 2.5 years ago. And we actually tried it and did my mother-in-law's countertops. So her countertops are done with Stone Coat. They look like a very light white Carrara marble. And then I started just, looking at different things. And in watching Stone Coat, I found Jeff and Erica, Artists Till Death, out of Dallas. So I started watching them. And it grew from there. So if you have any qualms about it and you want to try it, start small. Just get a small thing of resin and a couple of your favorite colors. Or start with some paint and do the same thing. Some paint and some Floetrol and some water, and do an acrylic pour. I want to show you one other thing. This was I actually took a class. I know. So I went to a class, and she didn't have very many selections of paint color. Sorry about the hand there. So that's my paint booth, and this is my photo booth. So I take my photos of my stuff inside once I get them all done. So I went to an acrylic pour class here in a town nearby me, and did that. First art class I've ever taken. I really want to find somebody that does acrylic painting near me and see if I can take a class. But this was my very first acrylic pour. It does not have resin on it yet. She didn't have a big selection of colors, so this probably is not the colors that I would have chosen normally. But I learned a lot from this class. My paint was kind of thick in places. This pink glitter was actually some glue mixed in with the paint. And then you'll see some gold mixed in. But it's just purples and pinks. I'm not really a pink person, but I thought it turned out pretty good for my very first time. And you can see the cells here, and you can see here where they stretched. And then all over the edges. So eventually I will get a coat of resin on this, and then it'll be for sale too. So if you have any questions, let me know. And again, this is probably the first time you've actually seen me. I'm Holly. Hi. And I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.